Welcome back to Entertainment Banter. My name is Joel,
And I'm Matt.
and it's the holidays, right, Matt?
It is the holidays, yes.
We're going to end 2019. Yes, this is not a old recorded or new recorded. I don't know what I'm trying to say here. I'm just trying to say we are trying to be current, all right? Let's be current.
We're totally not current right now, but that's okay.
I'm going to release this episode next weekend.
Okay.
Matt has to do it.
I will finish it by then, yes.
But it's the holidays, and we all should be in good spirits. And if you've been listening to our pods or know us personally, you probably know that Matt's a very right-wing conservative Christian.
To some extent, yes.
And Joel's a very left-wing independent Jew. I say independent because I'm not really democratic. I think I agree. But Matt, what are you drinking? And what are you drinking tonight?
Tonight I'm drinking the holiday season I drank something else, but for tonight I'm actually drinking a nice can of Pepsi.
Oh,
Nothing hard today.
they are not our sponsors, but I'm drinking eggnog with some fire whiskey.
Yes. I did that throughout the
that's some
holiday
good stuff.
season for sure. It
Some
is
good
very
stuff.
good. Yeah.
So, the holiday season. What do you like to do in the holiday season, Matt? Like, what's a tradition of yours in the holiday season?
I think it's the same as a lot of people. We just pick our favorite holiday movie or
You pick
special.
your favorite holiday movie,
and you watch it, right?
And you watch it,
Mhm.
and everybody has their favorites.
And we were talking about, the selection of what you could watch, and
Yeah, and so we've already done a Christmas special, right?
we did
that
about our
last-
favorite holidays. Yeah,
Our holiday special movies.
I think we did it last year. Yeah,
We did.
holiday specials or something. Yeah,
We actually ended our season with that. We are not ending our
That's true.
season with this.
no,
We are going strong still. But it got me thinking, Christmas ended a few days ago, and this is one of the rare years that
Hanukkah started. Yeah,
Chanukah goes
Yeah.
all the way through and actually takes us to New Year's pretty much, which I think is a cool thing. If you're Jewish, you get Christmas if you celebrate it, which my family does. And then you have that blank space between New Year's and Christmas that people, just don't know what they're doing anymore. It just feels like Sunday after Sunday after Sunday.
right.
So Hanukkah for Jews fills in that gap, which is
Yep.
kind of nice. Or Kwanzaa for the
It just keeps it
African
going.
Americans.
Yeah, just keeps it going to the new year. Yep.
But there's not many Hanukkah things out there, are there?
No.
Specials,
Oh,
are
well,
there?
we're talking about entertainment purposes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I looked up, I Googled it,
Okay.
and there's top 10 Hanukkah movies, right?
Please list them. And I mean, are they? So when you say Hanukkah, this is legit Hanukkah. They're not like, oh, it's Die Hard, a Christmas movie.
No,
That
that's
kind of
what
thing?
that's what I was gonna say. They're not like that
Okay.
because the only two of them on there were actually Hanukkah movies. One was The Hebrew Hammer,
Okay. Don't know that one.
yeah, and then the other one was Eight Crazy Nights.
Right. Thank you, Adam Sandler.
Every other movie for Hanukkah was random, like, oh, you should watch this for Hanukkah, The American Tale, or you should watch
Oh man.
or you should watch The Little Fockers, and those aren't
Right.
those
Right.
aren't. And then
They're just picking Jewish movies
Yeah.
and,
No,
and,
they're not
and
even
saying
like-
they're Hanukkah.
right, and then Hitched
Do they
for the
take
holidays.
place during the holidays though? I don't.
I guess
remember
they mentioned Hanukkah or something in it.
in like American Tail they mentioned Hanukkah.
No,
at some
well, they
point.
mention American Tail because it's from the like if you take the American Tail story, the mice are actually Jews and the cats are Russians, pogroms from Russia, and they're trying to escape.
Right.
So it's like their story of escaping. It has nothing to do with
Okay. So it's kind
Hanukkah.
of
I
kind
think
of related.
I think they celebrate Hanukkah in it. I have to watch the American Tail. It's a good movie.
It's possible. I haven't watched that in
It's a
forever.
great movie. And then Fievel Goes West. Ah, such good movies.
Yeah.
But
I'm glad.
and then another movie is with the holidays. It's only because they mention Hanukkah in it. They're not true Hanukkah movies. It's
Right.
not like The Christmas Story or The Grinch or Die Hard. It's
Well, in a weird sort of way, though, those movies aren't really Christian-based movies. The Grinch isn't a Christian-based story per se.
You're
It
right.
takes place at Christmas, but it's not. I mean, they celebrate Christmas, but it's not like the birth of Christ or anything. Now, if you think about it, like even Rudolph, like none of these are related. It's kind of interesting that
It's true because
you
it's
brought
so
that up.
commercialized. It's so commercialized for Christmas.
Yeah, so in a weird sort of way, it's like a holiday movie, but it's not based on that religion. So I never really thought about that. You
But
know?
Hanukkah's not really a religious holiday for Jews. I mean, it is religious. I'm not going to say it's not, but compared to Christmas, it's a small holiday. It's not.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a big holiday. That's why not many Jews get fussy about it. It's the Hallmark is trying to make it a, oh, it's Christmas or it's Hanukkah. We're trying to make it just as equal as Christmas and give presents, but there's not. See, you have stories or traditions or folklore that led to Christmas giving presents, right?
Right.
There is nothing in Hanukkah that you got presents. That never
Well, why don't
was a
you
thing.
go into, for those of us that don't know the whole story, the idea of Hanukkah, what the candles represent, the nights, and those things, because some people don't know those things. So if you can, because
Sure,
the
sure.
giving of gifts for Christmas, starts back with the wise men giving presents to baby Jesus, that kind of stuff.
Is
So,
that where the gifts come from?
that's
Those-
part of it, but
the three
it's
Chinese
actually
giving
it's also the ultimate gift,
giving
which is
garbage to the
giving
star baby.
giving. No, it wasn't garbage. You have to go back and read your books.
Your
but
books, not my books.
Also, it was also the ultimate gift, which was, giving God in human form to the world. So that was the ultimate gift. But anyways, getting on to the Hanukkah, let's get a quick summary of Hanukkah for those that don't know.
I'm gonna do a quick summary, and it should definitely be a Hollywood movie because I think it'd be a great movie.
Sure. So I'm gonna quickly stop you before you continue because I would like to hear it all the way through.
I'm gonna eat a Twix while you stop me.
Hollywood for the longest time, and this, call it what you will, but a lot of Jewish people are in Hollywood, and big names, big money, big stars, studio execs across the board.
You saying Jews are in Hollywood?
How come they haven't done it? You know what I mean? They did Ten Commandments, Charlton Heston. They've done so many, The Robe. They've done so many biblical stories, and yes, some of them are Old Testament. So I guess it kind of works out. You mentioned that you liked Prince of Egypt, which was Spielberg and Katzenberg, and they did all that
DreamWorks. That's
when they started
DreamWorks' first
DreamWorks.
movie.
Right. So getting back to that, how come why haven't they done a Hanukkah? You don't think it's not mainstream enough? Do Jews not go to the movie theaters anymore? I mean, like, what? They don't think it's going to be a market for it? Like, why do they steer away from it?
Maybe a good story hasn't come up of it yet. Maybe they didn't think it's going to be a
It's
good
not that
seller.
exciting.
Yeah, it can be. You can spice it up. Let me tell the story, and you tell me what you think. I'm going to tell you.
I've heard it before, but I want to hear you say it. It's, coming from.
So this is for Nick then.
Okay, go for it. Nick and maybe my mother, and maybe one other fan that criticizes things.
I'm not going to say that I know it exactly, but I'll try to sum it the best. So it's during the time of, I believe, the Second Temple was built, and the Maccabees were being outran. The Maccabees are soldiers from Israel. Right. Not Israel, but the Jews.
But they were outnumbered.
Right. They were outnumbered, and they made pretty much their last stand in the temple.
Right.
Right? And
kind of locked in there, trapped.
Right. And the Greeks, another culture that slaughtered us, was going after. It's amazing to know that every holiday is based off of slaughtering of Jews, but anyways, not all of them, but they pinned the Jews down, the Maccabees, in the temple, and they were worried at night they would be outrun because they can't see, right?
Right.
So they had, looking around, they're surrounded, they couldn't do anything, only what they had inside the temple, and they had enough oil to burn their candles for one night. But then a miracle happened, and they lasted 8 nights.
Right.
I think honestly, that's the miracle. Like, it lasted 8 nights. So Hanukkah is based off, is an oil holiday. So when we celebrate Hanukkah, it's 8 nights because it lasted 8 nights. We eat latkes during it because you make latkes with oil. Mm-hmm. Actually, chicken fat oil. That's the tradition. And then you also eat jelly donuts that you make in oil. And it's all based around oil that we have to do this. I'm not 100% sure where dreidel came from, to be honest. Mm-hmm. Gambling, it taught kids to gamble at a young age. But I also wanted to point out that Jews are very frugal, so I think that it wasn't a miracle. They just knew how to make the oil last.
So even in your story, you're kind of like denouncing your own religious value to it.
Well, maybe,
But
it could be a good movie if they do it right. I mean, a Maccabee story and all that. I think it'd be really cool. I'm not sure 100% sure how accurate that story is. I'm sure one of our faithful
I'm pretty sure your
will
faithful
comment.
would say that it was
A miracle.
a higher power was involved.
Yeah,
for
yeah,
sure.
yeah.
Which is the same higher power that Christianity supports, by the way. So, and there's similar examples of that when you move on to the next level, as it were. But
Wait till you go to the next level from that. Was that the third book?
nobody.
We're not talking about that. We're not talking about that.
Please don't.
Okay. Okay.
But
it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah. No, it's totally fine to not talk about that. So, anyways, we're talking about Hollywood and the industry and how.
Yes.
So, all right, okay, let's move past the candles lasting 8 nights. What's the significance of it? What happened during those 8 nights? Did the armies just decide, fuck this, let's go home, or what happened? I mean, they're still there, right? Storming the castle, so to speak, while these Jews are inside lighting their oils.
They're still storming the castle right now. I don't know, honestly. I mean, I got to research more of my own things. I'm sorry.
Well, so maybe that's part of the reason why Jews don't even know their own story, so they can't write a script about it. I don't know.
Well, it's based off tradition, but here's the thing, though. When you look up holiday specials, though, this is where it comes neat. Though, this is what I want to really talk about.
Right.
Yes, there's not many movies out there, and the 2 movies that are out there are jokes. They're just walking jokes, and not even a joke like haha it's a funny movie. Like, they're just crappy, shitty movies that are jokes.
Well, I've never seen 8 Crazy Nights, but it appeared to me like it was more about just the family getting together and stuff happening.
Just like freaking the Christmas Story or the
Christmas Vacation.
Yeah,
It's really not about
right. But then that's why I enjoyed some, like, you watch some of your favorite cartoons when I was growing up, like Rugrats.
Yep.
Rugrats did a Hanukkah special, and I thought it was a really good Hanukkah special.
Was it just a regular episode that they did?
Just a regular episode. It was a Hanukkah special, and I thought that was really neat. I really enjoyed it. I'm trying to think of others.
Are there any other shows that did a better example of Hanukkah than, like, say, a movie or special?
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna keep going to Rugrats because they've always done. They've portrayed the Rugrats, the Pickles, were a Jewish family, so their Passover special is really good too. So they actually portrayed the holiday really well. Grandpa talks about the candles, and Tommy starts imagining what it was like back during the days of old.
Yep. That's really cool. That's cool.
Yeah, it was. It was really neat. I enjoyed it a lot.
I will say that Nickelodeon has been one of the forefront studios to challenge, or not challenge, but have a diverse cultural background in all their shows. For example, this kind of gets off subject for a second, but the Avatar: Last Airbender, when they did the Korra one, I believe, don't quote me, but I think that's the one where they started introducing the first gay hero character in a show. The Rise of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles are very much I don't know, diverse. They're not like the normal turtles they've done in the past. And then I talked to you about the Rocko's Modern Life special that they put on Netflix, where they started talking about sex changes or things of that nature. So I thought, to have Rugrats, be a show focused on a Jewish family or faith. I mean, I can't think of another animated show that did that. Can you?
No, I'm just even Googling it right now, and there isn't. It really is just the Rugrats Hanukkah special. I kind of want to watch it. I mean, the OC apparently did something, the best Chrismukkah ever, which is kind of funny.
Interesting.
Even Stevens did Heck of a Hanukkah.
Yeah.
Friends did the one with the holiday armadillo, which was
right.
Yeah. So not many. Yeah, there's not many that took the.
Well, there's always been
liberty.
Jewish characters in shows, and that's the irony of it. Like, especially in comedies. Now that you mention it, but it's I'm surprised that they, like I said, they haven't done a movie like something, because that could be exciting. People storming the castle kind of thing and bunkering down, and
It's a
you could
temple.
make, you know what I mean? Though I'm just saying, like it's a classic traditional story of
Dwayne the
a
Rock Johnson can play one of the Greeks. You know what I'm talking about? You know, man.
Oh my gosh! All right, so who would be playing the Jews inside, hiding
Oh,
with their
Liam
tails
Neeson would be
tucked
one
between
of
their
them.
legs? What?
Liam
No.
Neeson. Yeah, totally.
Liam
He's
Neeson
like
is totally not Jewish.
he
There's
would be
no
in there.
way.
He would be in
That
there,
doesn't
just
make
be
any
like,
sense.
he
I'm
like,
thinking like Pauly Shore or something.
nope,
You know, like
Pauly Shore.
Pauly Shore. Yeah, you'd be like,
Get
oh man, like they're
out.
totally
I'm hanging
knocking
this
at the
up.
door,
We're
man. We
done.
gotta get.
And thank you for joining us for Entertainment Banter. Matt's dead to me. Pauly Shore. Go to hell.
The guy needs work. I haven't seen him in a while.
Fuck him. You know why I know you're an awful person? You mentioned Pauly Shore.
That poor guy.
He's an awful actor. He's a piece of shit.
Oh my
He
gosh.
is just garbage. The only reason why he got to start is because his parents own a comedy store. No,
Sorry.
I mean, who else? I mean, maybe it could be
Realistically speaking, Shia LaBeouf.
Chris Evans
He
could pull off a Jew.
Chris Evans. Okay.
He
I
could
guess.
be a Jew. Maybe.
So
And then
what
Chris
about this day
Hemsworth
and
could be
age?
a
But what about
Thor,
this day and age
Greek,
where you have to get
Greek
Jewish
goddess.
people? You know what I mean? Like they're getting Hollywood's getting so PC now.
Jews don't
you
care.
can't
Jews
have,
don't
you
care.
can't have somebody play a part now. Like the whole point of acting was to pretend or to try to be something you're not, and they're turning it into this whole like, well, if you're not a man, you can't play a man. If you're not a woman, you can't play a woman. If you're not Jewish, you can't be Jewish. You know, it's like it's kind of getting ridiculous, don't you think?
Can I say a comment on that?
Yeah, go for it.
Can you let me talk?
I've bet you talked this whole time.
Okay. So, talking about Jewish holidays, Passover, Prince of Egypt is Passover, right? That's the whole story of Passover. And Prince of Egypt was a great movie by DreamWorks. We talked about it earlier. We probably talked about it on probably other podcasts because I really like the movies. Are really great to me.
The score is very good.
It's awesome. It's an awesome movie. It's great. So it actually became a musical sort of recently, and DreamWorks did a like a table read. And for you two people who probably know what a table read is, I'm going to explain it anyway. A table read is pretty much where all the actors get casted, and they hold the scripts in their hands, and they do a reading pretty much in front of. Well, a normal table read is where you do it just around a table, and you actually read the script together, right? And you portray what your character is, and you work things out. A public table read is what DreamWorks did, and it's pretty much the same kind of thing, but in front of an audience, right? So when they casted this, it was all white Jews who were casted in it. Well, guess what community freaked out? The black community, because for whatever reason, they believe that they should have been black people because people were darker skinned back then. The thing is, they're not wrong. They are darker skinned back then because they were in, the desert. But having them as Jews is way more significant than their skin color. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So
I do. I look. I'm not someone who panhandles to cater to people's feelings and emotions. You know what I mean? If they feel that strongly about it, there's nothing stopping anyone in Hollywood, black producers or black actors getting together, and they can do their own version of the film. You know what I mean?
Right.
You can
They've done that.
There's no one stopping you from doing that. You know.
Death at a Funeral or Death at a Funeral or whatever. There's
right?
two movies of it. Yeah.
You know, if you have a vision and you don't think your vision's being told, well, then that's your responsibility to go out into the world and just make your vision. You don't need to just trash on other people's works of art.
Well, they eventually made the musical, and I went to go see it, and they did colorblind casting. It was just anyone who's good. So I like that. That's fine. I don't care as long as the story doesn't change of their color, their skin, or anything. The story is what it is. You know what I mean?
It's interesting that you say that, because what's scary now, and I've noticed it more and more, and Disney's a big culprit of it, and because it's kind of interesting, but like with this online streaming services now, I think we mentioned it in a podcast, or maybe we just talked privately about it, but Star Wars, the original Star Wars, there was another change made to the movie, and I don't know if it was for like the 4K release that never happened or something, but they changed it again and put it in their app. That's the only way you can see it. So to get the original story of Star Wars, you can't do it anymore. But more and more movies, like, are being censored to an extreme. Like, what's interesting is, like, let's say Disney censors up. There was other movies that I was reading about. I can't remember now. I wish I could, but they're starting to censor more scenes. Like, for example, it's a minor thing, but in Canada, I read an article where Home Alone 2 was playing in Canada, and it was just for television, so you can cut things out due to time and whatnot.
Sure,
but
sure.
they cut out the Donald Trump scene.
Well, he's just asking where the bathroom is.
Right, no, I get it, but it's interesting and dangerous because when a studio, like, say, Disney, suddenly gets a property from Fox, and they didn't like what Fox did, and they're putting it on their app, and maybe that's the only way you can get this now. If you don't buy the DVDs anymore, they don't release them anymore. You're at the mercy of what version they want to show you. And
of course, you're always going to see when you watch. I mean, look at the Academy Awards. You're going to listen to these actors and actresses' speeches based off of what they want to tell you. Their agenda.
It goes back right, but it goes back to that whole. But that's scary, though. That's scary. Like, leave the film the way it is, and then but they're like catering it to their own. You're never. That's never been the case, though. That's never been the case.
Are you sure? Because
they did it with books, like with Mark Twain. They took out the N-word and all that stuff.
But when you read a book, when you watch a movie, you're at the mercy of the agenda of whoever created it, one, and then the producers, too.
I'm okay with the original vision and agenda. I may not like The Last Jedi, but Rian Johnson and Lucasfilm put that out there. But if I were to take that film and buy Lucasfilm, let's say 20 years from now, and I take that film and I take out all the parts that I didn't like, and the only way you can watch that film, that's where I think it's wrong, and I just bring it up because you were talking about how, like, they were blind casting, so you're okay with that when I understand that from a term of performers, getting parts and roles, because I am one that believes that a black person can play a white person. I believe that Asian people can do whatever they want, female, male, whatever, because in Michael Chekhov acting techniques, the whole point was just you could become somebody else. It's not a race thing. It's just you could become someone else. I'm not saying there weren't racial stereotypes at the time when these, especially in the earlier films with Boris Karloff and all those trying to play, and I can't remember, it was Charlie Chan where, somebody's playing an Asian guy that wasn't Asian. But I think that's the challenge behind it. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, that's as an actor, not as an offensive person, but just trying to see how close you can actually come to the mark. So, but when it gets back to, like I said, the whole casting people blindly based on or trying to make them what's the word, inclusive, inclusive casting, it can send a mixed message. It can disrupt the story arc based on that. I mean, if you casted a black person playing a KKK member, it's gonna seem weird. You know what I mean?
You would not do that.
You wouldn't do it. So why was it okay if you do it in other capacities? So all I'm saying is, like, it's sometimes okay to just leave it the way it needs to be. Forget if you want to call it affirmative action or whatever you want to call it. It's a double-edged sword, because I do believe anybody can play any role. But I think it does take away from something.
Depending on the story,
exactly,
it will take it away. Like you said, if it was a story about white supremacy, you're not going to cast black people in that white supremacy, or even Asians or Indians. You're going to cast whites to play the white supremacy because being that color plays that character. Does that make sense?
Right.
But in Prince of Egypt, just saying that they're Jews plays the character. You don't need to be like, because you're going to have different shades of people during that time anyway, so that's not going to play the character. Like when you cast, I don't know, like if the race plays a part in role, you can't cast it as a different race. Does that make sense?
Yes, but I feel what's dangerous about the storytelling is the fact that with all this inclusiveness, what I'm saying is it does start to translate, and it does start to change how people make films, and it does in turn naturally distort the story. Does that make sense? By being inclusive, it kind of does that.
Depending on what the story is, that's all I'm saying. Depending on the story.
Of course. Yeah. So that's it. So.
Have any final thoughts?
No, I mean I agree with you. I think it would be wise. I like variety. You know, education's not a bad thing. So it would be cool to see it more movies based on things like Hanukkah. You know, commercial. I mean, crying out loud, I was watching Hallmark movie not by choice, but my wife was watching it and she couldn't even stand it. It was like
Sure,
Christmas
wife.
comes. Christmas comes to with a mermaid or some crap. I'm just like, if they can make those kind of movies, I think they can make at least one Hanukkah movie. That's my final thought.
That's what I think. I mean, hopefully someone out there, or maybe I will one day, maybe you and I will, we'll make
There
a
you go.
Hanukkah movie. Maybe that's
Yes.
our claim to fame.
I'm down with that. I also, by the way, a subject for another time, but I also was thinking about your other project, by the way, too. So
It's
came up
coming
with some
up. New
ideas.
Year's happening. We're going to start it, man.
Yeah. So, anyways, that's it for me.
Big
but,
year.
it was a fun holiday. You know, everything was good. Everyone survived, so can't
And by
complain.
the time this episode airs, it'll be 2020, so Happy New
Oh,
Year's.
yeah. Happy New Year. That's right. Drive safe. Make good
This
choices.
is 2020 is going to be the year of hindsight.
It's the year of the mouse, isn't it?
Is it? 20.
What?
And on that note, this was Entertainment Banter. My name is Joel.
And I'm Matt.
And I'm done.